Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Bagwindy DIY Auto, and this is another video on my 2015 Chrysler Town Country. And I'm going to replace my transmission filter and drain my transmission fluid. So I went up to AutoZone and I purchased the filter kit and the fluid. Here are the fluids here. They recommended to use the STP automatic transmission ATF plus 4, which is these guys right here. These are rated for the Chrysler Town Country, and the quantity are 5 quarts. Here are my 5 quarts transmission fluid, and they also recommended the Duralast automatic transmission filter, and the part number is TF411, which is this guy right here. So I'm getting ready to remove my oil pan, and I have the drain pan in position there, and I'm getting ready to remove my hardware and drain my fluid. Now there are 12 bolts that support the oil pan, and that's going to be my task for today. So let's get into it. Now I'm going to be using a 5/16 socket, and if you don't have a 5/16 socket, you can use the number 8mm sockets. So let's get into it. I'm going to start loosening up my oil pan bolts. And then I'm going to start removing the aft bolts for the oil to drain in this position here, which is from the back and drain into my oil pan. So all my bolts, they're all pre-loosed. So now I can go ahead and start taking out my bolts. I have not drained my transmission fluid since I purchased this vehicle here. So this is going to be the first time since this vehicle here was purchased by changing my transmission fluids and filter. I have no problems with it. It's just, I believe it's time for me to change my fluid. I change my engine oil every 3,000 miles, but never change my transmission fluid. So I think I have time to do it, and I'm going to do it before something goes wrong. Hopefully not. I purchased this vehicle here about 6 years ago for my wife, and she drove it, and then the engine rockers started ticking, and I went in the engine and replaced all my lifters. I have several videos out there regarding the engine breaks down and engine and lifters replacements, so you can go and check that video out and how it was done. But this is a very good vehicle. This vehicle here is fully equipped with all the necessities that I needed, all the gadgets this vehicle here is equipped with. So it's been good to me for the past 6 years, despite little discrepancies that I experience. Otherwise, it's a very good vehicle. So I got all the aft bolts loose. Now I can go ahead and use my rubber mallets and tap the pan and allow the fluid to drain into the oil pan. And there it goes. And now I can remove the remaining bolts and allow the fluid to drain fully into the drain pan. The recommended quantity for the 2012-2015 Chrysler Town Country is 5 quarts transmission fluids. Okay, let me remove the remaining hardware here, and I can now remove the oil pan from the transmission. Let me bring it up a little bit more. Okay, there we go. And then that's it right there. Now I don't have a gasket. I didn't purchase a gasket for this task here because I don't have a torque wrench. But what I purchased was the gasket maker, oil resistance, which is good for this task here. And once I install my oil pan, what I'm looking for is squeeze out all around the oil pan. So you can see here, there's no gasket on here. They also went with gasket maker. You can see here, this is all a squeeze out here. So that's what I'm going back with. Now my oil pan has removed. Now I need to go ahead and loosen up my transmission filters. And here is my filter right here. Okay, I'm removing my filter here. Okay, this is the old filter, and seal is up in here. I have to see if I can pry it out. I can use a chisel and just tap it out. I should be able to get it out. I just tap just the edge here. Okay, here we go. Nice. Now I should be able to pop it right out. See if I can use a screwdriver here and pop it right out. So I can top it from this end. Here we go. Pops right out. Go ahead and clean this area here. Make sure there's no metal sits anywhere in this area. And then I can go ahead and install the new seal for the filter. And go ahead and clean my oil pan. Then apply the silicone, which is the gasket maker, and then place my oil pan back in position and install all my bolts, torque them all the way around, then let the vehicles down, and then service the transmission with 5 quarts of transmission fluid. Here's my new seal. I can now go ahead and install it in here. Just put a little fluid around the O-ring. Then I can slide it up in there. Nicely. Go ahead and top it. Let my hammer. Okay, let me use a socket which is about the same size. See if I can use it and tap it up in there evenly. See if I can. Okay, that's the new filter sealed, installed. Okay, all right, now the seal is installed. It's time for me to go ahead and install the filter. I had to remove this bracket here to have access installing that seal. Okay. Okay, now it's time for me to go ahead and install the filter. It's nice to put a little lubricant. It's nice to put a little lubricant around the filter where it goes into the seal. Okay, now I can go ahead and install the seal. Okay, it's very tight up in there. Okay, now it sits up in there nicely. I can now go ahead and install my filter bolts. Okay, now my new filter is installed. New seal, new filter. Now it's time for me to clean my oil pan and go ahead and reinstall. Gotta check to make sure there's no metal inside my oil pan. Make sure that the transmission is not mechanically breaking down. And this is the magnet right here. This device right here is the magnet. And the purpose for the magnet is to trap any metal that settles inside the oil pan. So I can see my oil pan is just wet with oil. There's no metal. So now I can go ahead and clean my oil pan and apply my RTV gasket maker and then install my oil pan. Okay, and this is gonna be my next task. My oil pan is now clean, and my gasket maker is placed on the oil pan. See, the gasket maker is on the oil pan. I usually applied about 1/8 of an inch for a nice squeeze out. And also the magnet inside the oil pan, make sure it's at the lowest point. Here is the highest point, and that's the lowest point right here. And here's the magnet, nice and clean right here. This is the magnet, and it should be at the lowest point to trap any metal in the fluid. Okay, my oil pan is clean and nice, and the gasket maker is applied. The pan is ready for installation. Now this is the gasket maker here. That's the type that AutoZone recommended. So now it's time for me to go ahead and start installing my oil pan. Okay. The torque on these bolts should be no more than about 100 to about 110 inch-pounds. I don't have a torque wrench, but I usually use torque wrench on a daily basis in my professional field, and I know what it feels for 110 inch 12 pounds. So what I'm looking for here, guys, I'm looking for squeeze out all the way around the pan, and that should sums up the seal, making sure that everywhere has a squeeze out. If you can look all the way around here, you can see the squeeze out all the way around the pan. Okay, and that's it for the installation for my automatic transmission oil pan and gaskets. Okay guys, so that's it for replacing the transmission filter and seal. Now it's time for me to lower the vehicles and service the transmission with the transmission fluid. Okay guys, so now after replaced the filter, install a new transmission filter and reinstall the transmission oil pan. Now it's time to service the transmission. Now here is the filler plug right here. Right here. This plug here, just twist it and remove, and then install the funnel. Make sure that the funnel sits inside there nicely, and then now I can go ahead and pour the 5 quarts of transmission fluid. That's 5 quarts. I cannot remove my funnel. Don't forget to reinstall your filler plug. Okay. While you're at it, check for any leaks. Okay, no leaks at all. Now I can go ahead and start the engine and bring the engine up to normal operational temperature. Then I can go ahead and put the transmission in drive, reverse, and park, and make sure that it actually shifts. Then I can go for a test drive. Okay guys, and that's it for replacing the transmission filter. If you like this video guys, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again. Goodbye.